Good morning, students. So, in last class, in the last sessions, we have seen about the ratio analysis and other categories of ratio analysis. And in last session, we have seen the how the current ratio is calculated. Next, liquidity ratio, that is quick ratio is calculated, or acid test ratio is calculated, and also the absolute liquid ratio. And we have seen totally the three ratios from the liquidity ratios, and by using or by taking some simple problems, we have studied the ratios one by one. So today in this session we'll take stock to working capital ratio. Means this is a last ratio, that is the last classification of the last type of the liquid ratio. So here the stock to working capital ratio means, so first of all, the formula to calculate stock to working capital ratio is calculated by dividing the stock by net working capital into 100. So here in first session we have seen, if the answer, or the if one asset is divided by another, or the asset is divided by liability, and if it is multiplied with the 100, so the answer will be in percentage. So here the stock to working capital ratio is shown in percentage. So here first of all, see what do you mean by stock to working capital ratio. So how it is calculated? It is calculated by dividing the value of stock by the working capital. Such working capital may be either gross working capital or net working capital. It is expressed in percentage. So here, working capital means current assets minus current liabilities. If we deduct current liabilities from the current assets, we will get net working capital. So here, after calculating net working capital, we will divide the stock by working capital, and if we multiply with 100, so automatically we will get the working capital stock to working capital ratio, and the standard ratio is to be maintained as 75% of working capital. Here standard ratio that the company has to maintain is 75%. If the inventory is less than 75% of the working capital, it indicates high liquid position. So here, if the company is having less than 75% of working capital, so the liquidity position is very high. And if the inventory is more than 75% of the working capital, it indicates the low liquid position. So here high liquid position means the company which is having a capacity to pay the liabilities. So if the company's liquidity position is high, automatically the company's financial position will be sound position. And here if the standard ratio is less than 75%, it indicates high liquid positions, means the stock is less, and if the stock is more, automatically it shows the liquid position of the company is very low. So that means the company is having not sound financial position. So here, after studying the liquidity ratios, so we have seen the very briefly and very neatly, and also very cleanly we have studied the liquidity ratios. First of all, we have seen in the first session what is liquidity ratio and how it is calculated, and what are the types of liquid ratios. And we have seen there are four important types of liquid ratios. One is current ratio, quick ratio, and absolute liquid ratio, and last was stock to working capital ratio. Like that, we have seen the four important classifications of liquidity ratio. So next thing is we will move to leverage ratio, or solvency ratio or capital structure ratio. So here these are the ratios which are used to measure the long-term financial position as a test of solvency of an organization. So these ratios are used for to measure the long-term financial position of the company. So here whether the company is having long-term financial position as a test of solvency, here the solvency is long-term or not, is calculated by using this solvency ratio or leverage ratio. Here long-term financier is either as equity shareholders or a debt financiers are more interested with long-term financial position. In first session we have already seen what are the parties which are interested in these financial ratios. So here this leverage ratio, here the long-term shareholders and the long-term debt financiers are more interested with the long-term financial position, and these ratios are used to calculate the solvency of the company. So next here the solvency ratios are classified into 6 main categories. One is proprietary ratio or equity ratio. Second one, equity to fixed asset ratio. Equity to fixed asset ratio. In first ratio we have seen and we have studied about only the current assets and current liabilities. When it comes to the leverage ratio or solvency ratios or second type of ratios, here we will study the total proprietary ratio, means to the shareholders fund, and about the fixed assets and the other things here. So third one is equity to current ratio. So already we have seen the current ratio, but we have to know what do you mean by equity and equity to fixed asset, equity to current assets. We have to see the ratio or the relationship between the equity to fixed asset and the equity to current asset, and we have to find out the ratio. Then current liability to shareholders fund, and how much the company is having current liability to the shareholders fund ratio, and we have to find out the standard ratio. Next, debt equity ratio. What are the debts and what are the equities of the firm? You have to find out by using the debt equity ratio. Capital gearing ratio. So these are the 6 important ratios which are used to find out the solvency of the long-term solvency of the firm. So here we will study one by one. So here first we will take the proprietary ratio or equity ratio. So what do you mean by proprietary ratio or equity ratio or total assets ratio? So here this ratio is established the relationship between shareholders fund and total assets of the firm. So here as we know that the proprietary ratio means, or the equity ratio means, or the total asset ratio means, here the relationship between the shareholders fund and the total assets. So these are the two terms. One is shareholder fund and the total assets. So first of all we will see what do you mean by shareholder fund and what do you mean by the total asset of the firm. So it is known that equity ratio or the ratio of net worth to total asset ratio, it relates to net worth or the shareholders equity to total assets. Means here this ratio is relates with the total assets to the total shareholders fund. So first of all we will see the formula to calculate the proprietary ratio. Here proprietary ratio can be calculated by using the formula is shareholders fund divided by total assets. So here it is clear that it shows the proprietary ratio shows the relationship between the shareholders fund and the total assets. So first of all we will see what is the shareholders fund, what it includes. Shareholder fund includes paid up equity capital. So here paid up equity capital means equity share capital, then preference share capital, reserves, profit and loss credit balance. So these are the 4 important terms which are used. The sum total of these 4 terms are known as the shareholders fund. So here in shareholders funds it includes the equity share capital, preference share capital, then reserves and surplus, and the profit and loss credit balance. So this is very, very important. Credit balance is very, very important. If it is profit, then it is called as credit balance. So here total assets includes all fixed assets plus current assets. So here in last session we have seen only the current assets, and now in this session we will study what are the total assets, means fixed assets and current assets. So here the standard ratio which is to be maintained by the firm is 5:1. Here the company or the firm has to maintain the standard ratio as 5:1. So here if the ratio is high, it indicates a strong in financial position, means the company is very strong in its financial position. Its financial position is very sound. It can very easily pay the creditors or the liabilities are payable. So if the ratio is low or less than 5:1, it indicates the weak in the financial position. So this is the financial position. So here to maintain the sound financial position, the company has to maintain the ratio more than 5:1. So if the company maintains the ratio 5:1, more than 5:1, it indicates the sound financial position of the company. So here in this first ratio, that is proprietary ratio, here we have seen what are shareholders funds. So shareholder funds includes equity share capital, preference share capital, and the reserves and surplus plus profit and loss credit balance. So by totaling these four, we will get shareholders fund, and this shareholder fund is divided by the total assets, which include the fixed assets and the current assets. So here we will find out the proprietary ratio by taking one simple problem. So here in the problem it is given that equity share capital is 6 lakh. The firm's equity capital is 6 lakh and the fixed assets are 7 lakh 50,000. Preference share capital is 3 lakh. Current assets 3 lakh. Reserves 1 lakh 50,000. Investments 4 lakh 50,000. Debentures are 3 lakh 60,000. Creditors are 90,000. And the total assets and total liabilities are 1 lakh 50,000. 15 lakh. So here in the given problem, it is there are many informations are given. On liability side, there are many items are given, and on the asset side, there are many informations are given, or the many items are given, or the many terms are given. From that items, we have to select and we have to calculate the shareholders fund. We know already the shareholders fund equals to equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus plus profit and loss credit balance. So from this information, given information, we have to sort out these information and we have to find out shareholders fund. So here we'll find out the shareholders fund by adding or the calculating the sum total of equity share capital, that is 6 lakh, preference share capital 3 lakh, then reserves and surplus is 15,000 is given. So here by adding these three important terms, we will get 10 lakh 50,000 as shareholders fund. And the total asset, by adding fixed assets and current assets plus investment, we are getting the total fixed asset, the total assets. So here fixed assets are 7 lakh 50,000, current assets are 3 lakh, and the investments are 4 lakh 50,000. So total we are getting here 15 lakh. So total asset is 15 lakh and the total shareholders fund is 10 lakh 50,000. If we divide the shareholders fund by the total assets, so here we are getting the ratio is 0.7:1. So here it shows that the financial position of the firm is not strong. It is low standard, so less than standard. So here the financial position is low. The firm's financial position is low. Here the firm has to maintain 5:1 ratio, but here by dividing the shareholders fund by total assets, we are getting only 0.7:1 as the proprietary ratio. So by this we comes to know that the firm is not having sound financial position. So next, second one is equity to fixed asset ratio. Here it is obtained by dividing the net value of fixed assets. Only we are considering here fixed assets, the net value of fixed assets by the owner's equity. Again here the word repeats, owner's equity means here shareholders fund. So already we have known how to calculate the shareholders fund, and here we will take only the fixed assets. In first session or the first ratio, we are adding the current ratio also with the fixed assets to get total assets, but here only the fixed assets are considered. By dividing fixed assets by the owner's equity, so by multiplying 100, we are getting here the ratio of 67%. So standard ratio is 67%. The firm has to maintain the standard ratio at 67%. The fixed asset should not exceed 2/3 of the owner's fund, means the fixed assets should not exceed 67% of the owner's fund. It indicates that the proprietary fund are mostly blocked in the fixed assets, and current assets are mostly financed out of loan funds. It indicates financial weakness. If the fixed asset exceeds 67% of the owner's fund, it shows financial weakness. If the fixed asset investment is less than 67% of owner's equity fund, it indicates the firm concern is financially strong, means he is financially strong. So here the firm has to maintain less than 67% of the owner's equity or shareholders fund. If he maintains less than 67% of the owner's equity, so it shows that, or it indicates the firm is in healthy financial position, or else it shows that he is in very low financial position. So here equity to current asset ratio. So current ratio to shareholders fund, here it is calculated by dividing the current assets by owner's equity or shareholders fund. So we know very well what are the current assets and what are the shareholders fund. Here there is no standard ratio. It is not compulsory for the firm to maintain the standard ratio. If the high ratio is there, automatically it indicates the firm's financial position is very strong. If the less ratio is there, it shows the low financial ratio or the financially weakness of the firm. So last one is, so fourth ratio is current liability to shareholders fund. So here one by one we have seen, first we have taken total assets, then in second ratio we have taken only the fixed assets, then in third ratio we have only considered the current assets. Now we are considering only the current liabilities, and we are finding the relationship between the current liabilities and the shareholders fund. So here the current liability to shareholders fund ratio is calculated by dividing the total current liabilities by shareholders fund. So here current liability to shareholders fund ratio equals to total current liabilities divided by shareholders fund. So by dividing the total current liabilities by shareholders fund, we are going to calculate the current liability to shareholders fund ratio. So here the standard ratio is to be maintained is 1/3. If the actual ratio is more than the standard ratio, it would be difficult for the concern to obtain long-term firm. So here the current liabilities to shareholders fund, here the firm has to maintain the standard ratio at 1/3. If the actual ratio is more than the standard ratio, that is more than the 1/3, it shows that there is a difficulty for the firm to obtain long-term firms. So here the firm is restricted to maintain 1/3 ratio only. Last one is debt equity ratio. So this is very important ratio, and here in debt equity ratio it is calculated by dividing the external liability of the firm by the internal liability. That is, here internal liability means shareholders funds. So we know very well what do you mean by shareholders fund. It is also called as debt to equity ratio. This ratio measures the relative claims of the outsiders against the firm's assets. So means here the claims of the outsiders against the firm's assets. What are the assets available with the firm? So here debt equity ratio is calculated by long-term debts divided by shareholders fund. So long-term debt means we'll see what are the long-term debts, and we already know the shareholders fund. Here the external equities include, that is the long-term debt includes. So total equities are equity share capital, preference share capital, capital reserve, reserve fund, surplus, sinking fund. So after adding this, here we are getting the total shareholders fund by deducting deferred expenses, accumulated losses, and the debit balance of P&L account. Finally we are getting the balance. That balance is called as shareholders fund. So here in the debt equity ratio, the standard ratio, the firm has to maintain the ratio in between 2:1. So here ratio should be restricted to 2:1. If the debt ratio is less than 2 times of the equity, indicates that the financial structure of the concern is sound. So here debt ratio is less than 2 times of the equity. If it is less than 2 times of the equity, it indicates that the financial structure of the concern is sound. If it is more than 2 times of the equity, it indicates the financial structure is very weak. So therefore the firm has to maintain only the ratio between 2:1. So like this the debt equity ratio is calculated. So here in this leverage ratio we have seen all the ratios one by one. So here first we have seen how the proprietary ratio or equity ratio is calculated. In this we have seen what is shareholders fund and what are the total assets. Then again equity to fixed assets. In this we have seen what are only the fixed assets, and in third what are only the current assets and current liabilities, and debt equity ratio, that is the relationship between the debt and equity of the firm. So like this we have studied the solvency ratios in this class. I hope all of you understood. Thank you one and all.